Excel VBA, creating a secure user login system for collaborative projects. Are your Excel collaborative projects a free-for-all? Do you worry about unauthorized access or accidental data changes from team members? This video will show you how to lock down your spreadsheet with a powerful Excel VBA login system, giving you a complete control over who sees what and protecting your critical data from unauthorized access. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Rapid Solution channel. If you work with Excel in a team, maybe in an office, school, church or business, then this video is for you. By the end of this tutorial, you know how to build a simple but secure login system in Excel using VBA, where users must log in before accessing your workbook. This tutorial is in two parts, and this is what we will learn in the first part. In the first part of this tutorial, we will learn how to create a username and password login system. Use VBA UserForm for authentication. Restrict access based on login status. Protect worksheet from unauthorized access. And automatically show the login form when Excel opens. No advanced coding is required, just follow along step by step. Why use a login system in Excel? Let's be honest, Excel is powerful, but by default anyone can open your file and change anything. A login system helps you prevent unauthorized users from accessing your sensitive data, reduce accidental data deletion, control who can view or edit sensitive parts of your data, and finally make Excel safer for sharing or for collaborative use. This is especially useful for payroll systems, student records, church or NGO database, inventory systems, multi-user Excel tools, and others. This is how the system works. When the workbook opens, all the sheets are hidden. Then the login form appears. Users' credentials are checked from the user sheet, and access is granted if only a login is valid, whilst keeping the unauthorized users at bay. Let us now learn how we can create this wonderful login system. To do this, open a new Excel workbook. Click on the Developer tab and click on Visual Basics, or press Alt F11 to open the VBE. When the development environment opens, click on Insert to insert a new user form. This user form will be used as our login form. Click on the user form and go to the user form properties. Let's change the name to FRM user form and increase the width to 360. Do same for the height by giving it a value of 260. For the caption, let's leave it blank. Now let's change the back color to white. Go to the palette and select white. For the font type, I'll be using Sego UI or Calibri. Now let's add the following controls to the user form. Let's go to the toolbox and click Label and draw it on the user form. With this label, let's go to the property window to add a picture. Let me select this padlock picture and add it. Insert another label, and this time go to the property window and give this label a name. Let's call it LBL title. Let's write secure login system as the caption. Let's change the font size to 16 and make it bold. Click OK to apply it. Change the font color to blue, and text alignment should be centered. Change the back style to transparent. Now let's insert a command button. With this button, let's squeeze and stretch it out to form a thin line. Let's place it beneath the login system and insert another label. With this label, let's give it the name LBL subtitle, and in the caption let's write, and the font size should be 9 or 10. Fore color should be gray. Text alignment center, and back style transparent. Let's insert another label and give it the caption username. Let's change the fore color to dark gray. Let me insert another label. Go to the property window and insert a picture in this label. I'll be using this user picture. If you don't have a picture to use, you can visit the web to download some for your design. Now let me insert a text box and go to the property windows to make these changes. Let's give this text box the name txt username. Let's change the font size to 10, the border style to 1. Let's decrease the height to 22, and let's increase the width to 200. Let me quickly finish designing the user form and get back to you. Welcome back. Let's now run our user form. And this is how our login form will appear. Let's create a sheet and rename it users. Let's add user name, password, and role. And this is where we are going to use to store our username, password, and the roles. So for user 1, let's say admin, and the password should be admin, and he is the administrator. Let's say user 1, his password will be 1234, and his role is editor. Let his password be pass, and he is a user. Let me create more sheets. I now have 6 different worksheets open in this workbook. Let's go back to the user form. Let's click on the login button to start writing our code. The logic behind the code that we are going to write is simple. When the username and password is entered on the login form, it loops through the user sheet and check if the credentials match. Now, if the credential is correct, let's say if the username and password is correct, it allows access to the rest of the sheet. But if the username and password is wrong, then it will give you an error message. This is where Excel becomes more than just a spreadsheet. It becomes a real system. Let me declare these few variables as worksheets and dim last row as long, dim I as long also, and dim username as string, dim password as string, dim login success as boolean. Now let's set this workbook. Set ws as this the sheet, and the sheet name is what users. username equal to txt username dot value, and password will be equal to txt password dot value. Now let's add some level of verification by writing this if statement. If username is equal to empty or password is also equal to empty, then you get this message saying that please enter both username and password VB exclamation and let me exit sub before I end. So this will check if the username and password is empty, then it will tell you that you have to enter the username and password. Now last row, your cells .row. Then login success is equal to false. Let's now write a for loop that will loop through the username and password to check and match the username and password. So let's write for I is equal to 2 to the last row. If the worksheet dot cells is dot value equal to password, then the login success will be set to true. Exit for and end if. Next I. If login is successful, what should happen? Let's write this other if statement is equal to true. Then end if. If it is successful, let's display this message. Welcome and user. Then unload me. Else, if it is not successful, let it display this message. MSG box invalid username or password. txt password dot test should be equal to nothing, and also txt password dot set focus. This is the line of code that will be used to log into our system. Now let's run our user form to see if what we have done is successful. And we have admin and then the password as admin. Okay, so we have login successful. Welcome admin. Let me see if it's also checked for the case admin. This time lowercase and then okay. It is also checking if the spelling or use case is wrong. Let me the user 1 with the password 14. Okay, so welcome, login successful. You are a user. If the username and password is empty. Now I have the message. Please enter both the username and password. Let's also write a line of code behind the exit label. And here I'm going to write application.quit. And this will close the workbook for us. Next, let's quickly write some lines of code that will be used to lock and unlock the worksheet when the workbook opens, so that only authenticated users can have access to the worksheet contained in the workbook. To do this, go to the Insert tab and insert a new module and write the following lines of code. Let's write the lines of code that will be used to lock the worksheet when the workbook opens. So we will start with public sub lock work. Let's declare this variable dim ws as worksheet. After that, let's write a for loop that will loop through the worksheets in the workbook. So for each ws in this workbook.worksheet, ws.visible equal Excel sheet very hidden, then next ws. That is the end of the code that will loop through the worksheet. Now, to keep one of the worksheets open, let's write this line of code. This work.worksheet1.visible equal to Excel sheet visible. Let's protect our worksheet with a password. This workbook dot protect password equal to secure 123. That ends the code for locking down the worksheet. Now let's write another code that will be used to unlock the worksheet upon a successful login. Public sub unlock work. Let's declare the variable once again. Dim ws as worksheet. Let us use our password to unlock our worksheet. So we'll write this line of code. This work.unprotect password. We can copy this and paste it here. But this time around, we'll change this to Excel sheet visible. Now let's call this in our workbook. Let's click on this workbook and go to workbook open event and call log workbook. Let me copy it and let's click on the FRM user form. Copy the name and the workbook open event and let it show. This will open the login form as soon as the workbook opens and log the worksheets. Let's go back to the model and select this. Go back to the login form and call unlock workbook. One more thing, let's add some hovering effect to the login button. To do this, let's click on it and select the mouse move event. In there, write this line of code. Copy this, paste it and paste, then dot back color equal to RGB 012215. Also on the user form, let me write this. User form mouse move dot back color equal to RGB 099 177. Now we are done. Let me save and close the workbook. Let's now open the workbook. You can see that as soon as the workbook opened, we had the login system popping up. And look at the number of sheets that we now have here. We have only 2 worksheets currently displaying. Let me enter the username, which is admin, and also the password is admin, and click on login. Let's see what happened. Now we can see that we have been given access to all the worksheets contained in the workbook. Excel is more powerful than many people realize. With VBA, you can turn a simple spreadsheet into a secure multi-user system. If you work on a collaborative Excel project, then this login system is not optional, it is essential. If you found this video helpful, like the video, subscribe for more Excel VBA tutorials. Comment if you want the full source code or an advanced version. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the part 2 of this tutorial, where you will learn how to limit login attempts, add user roles, disable VBA editor access, and many more. Bye for now.